Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're not welcome to a new segment on a channel called Found on IG or Found on Instagram. Uh, yeah, because I've been finding movies I kind of want to check out with clips on Instagram. So I figured, these are going to be ones that I just see clips of and think, oh, that looks interesting. It's not, I'm going to go out of my way to find advice. If I can find it on a streaming service, fine. I'm not gonna buy the movie or go out of my way unless it really intrigues me. I did that Nick Jonas erotic thriller a little while ago. Something I found on Instagram, and so this one caught my eye because it looked like it was. First of all, it had the very gorgeous Jennifer Love Hewitt in it, and this British dude, Paul Nichols, I guess is his name. And the premise looked like it was a time loop romance movie. It looked like the guy was reliving the same day over and over again. However, when I started watching the movie, one, it seemed like it took a very long time to get to when the day started over. And then, as I watched it, I'm like, well, it's only one day? Kinda. I don't know. It gets very confusing. At one point, they go out of the city, and they come back, and it's played as if it's the same day. Apparently, it feels like it's a different day because they sleep together, and then it feels like they wake up the next morning, and then they go. And she has a concert thing, and is it the same day or I don't know? It's confusing, but I don't know. It just looked very intriguing to me from the clip I saw. And I'll tell you this. I know I'm a big manly man and all that stuff, but I'm a sucker for a good romance film. Chick flicks, whatever. Usually romantic comedies are better because they're funny. This maybe has a little bit of some more laughing moments, or you'll smile, make you smile kind of moments. It's a romantic fantasy drama film, is what I characterize on Wikipedia. So there's this guy, Ian, and he's a British businessman. He's living in London with his American girlfriend, Samantha, who is... So Ian is played by Paul Nichols, Jennifer Love Hewitt, but is Samantha. And a series of bad events happen that lead to her death, being T-boned in a taxi cab. He then wakes up the next morning to find that she's still alive and the day is starting to repeat itself. And in a bit of a frustrating things, he tries to stop the bad things from happening, only for them to happen in different ways, which to me is a cop-out. If you stop them from happening, then they shouldn't happen, not happen in different ways. That is literally telling you, it is telling you verbatim what's going to happen at the end of the film. It's like, oh, she's still going to end up dead, or the opposite's going to happen. And I had a feeling the way this movie was going, which way it was going to go. It ended up being kind of like that movie Before I Fall with Zoe Deutsch. It wasn't so overt like this one, but where, like, if you're watching this, it's obvious where it's going, but it's not like it was saying this was the only way it could go. Because I could see him just letting it happen, having fulfilled, and just giving in and allowing it to happen and accepting her death and getting to spend all that time with her, But, of course, they go different route with that. But, yeah, the obvious route. If you knew what it was going to be before I even started kind of telegraphing it, getting into it, and you kind of, I don't know. But yeah, so what happens? Wakes up, she shows this robe that she got And then she burns her hand on a coffee pot. A metal coffee pot, you shouldn't, coffee pot. And then later, she gets Coke spilled on her and has to go back. And he breaks his watch on the way to his meeting. She finds an envelope or a folder that she thinks is his folder that he needs for the job. And she shows up and kind of messes up his meeting. And they have an argument to where it really feels like he only cares about his job more than her. They have an argument. She gets in the cab and says, "Are you coming?" And he just kind of stands there. The cab takes off and then gets T-boned by the car. And they get to the hospital and her best friend shows up to comfort him. That's an important thing for this. Comfort him. I'm so sorry. And they hug and yeah. Then he wakes up. Kind of plot through that, but it takes a very long time to get to that point. It's like the first half hour or so leads up to that. So the next morning, he's very freaked out. He literally screams when he sees her because he's not expecting her to be there. He's expecting her to be dead. So he's freaking out, and he starts to realize that he has a dream. He doesn't want it to happen again. So one thing I noticed, she's wearing a different shirt this time. She's actually wearing a shirt this time instead of something else she was wearing. And she stops herself from burning it. Which, now I'm like, okay. I get him trying to interfere and stopping her, but she already had it telegraphed that she could get burned by touching it. How did she know that? Like, I thought it was going to play into that she remembered too and was trying to deny it because she wanted to have one last day with him. But they never go into that. She never knows that this is what's happening. She never knows. She doesn't know that anything's going to happen. But that's how I felt that it... Because that part felt like, oh, she remembers it too. Or maybe she's trying to play it off or something. But, like... Then the rest of the stuff, like, the Coke thing, he moves out of the way of the thing only for it to get splashed with Coke on the other side, and I'm like, what is the point of him stopping if they're still going to happen? And the more, I know the whole thing is, you can't stop it. Like, he talks to the cab driver, and the cab driver basically tells him, not so many words, but it's basically like, what's going to happen is going to happen, just enjoy your time with her, like, He even goes on a spree like, what if we don't leave the house? What if I take her out of London? I'm like, yeah, like, what if they stayed in the house all day? Is the car going to come barreling through the house? Or something else going to smash through the house and kill her? What? And I guess they answer that question because I still don't know what happened here. But, like... So this whole next day, he's trying to make things better for her. And so after his meeting, he thinks that she's going to show up again. She does, but she sees his folder, so she leaves. He almost blows it, but he actually does pretty good with the meeting. So, yeah. And so then there's the whole thing where he can't find her. And I guess you're supposed to think that something is wrong. Like, no, he goes to she's a teacher. He goes to the schools and can't find her because there's like 5 Olivers in every class, which I guess that's a British equivalent to Bobby or something. I don't know. To the last name Smith. I don't know. It's also British. I don't know. Then he goes to her best friend's place, flat as they call it, and then like the lines said by the kid Oliver are now said by the building caretaker whose name is also Oliver. I'm like, okay. So he takes her out of the country. He takes her. He goes, we'll go wherever you want to go. So she wants to go back to where he grew up. So they do that. It's pouring down rain. They go to this cabin. They then proceed to get busy, have sex, do it. Yes, they do that, and then it looks like it's morning. And she's like, we gotta go back. I got my concert tonight. So they go there, and he talks to her about singing, right? Basically falling back in love here. But he talks to her about singing, and she's nervous to do it. So he plans this whole thing. He goes in there, sets her music up with the band, which, by the way, he does this so quickly. These people don't have any time to practice, but I guess they're just able to play on key this music. They even show he's got a fucking, what do you call it, a choir to sing as well. And yeah, so she sings this song, and it's supposed to be very oh no, I'm shy, but then she just starts belting it out like, yeah, this is Jennifer Love Hewitt. She's gonna belt out this ballad. So yeah. And this is where I'm like, these actors are crushing it. This is where there are two moments where I said they're crushing it. This is his moment. They're walking. They go to dinner. They go to a nice little quaint restaurant instead of the big, swanky restaurant from before. And so they go there, and they're walking in the rain. Starts pouring down. She goes, "Come on." He's like, "Oh, can't we walk?" He goes, "No, come on." She goes, "No, come on. It's pouring down rain." And he basically belts out all his love to her. Like, I never knew how to love. You showed me how to love, and the whole thing. And they start making out in the rain, which is a very romance movie. And then a cab shows up, and it's that guy, because he had a conversation earlier, and now it's the guy again. It's Tom Wilkinson as the actor, by the way. And they get in, and she says, "Are you coming?" And he smiles, and he says, "Of course." And I went, "I know it. I knew it. He's dead. He's dead." They get in. They start driving. He starts to hyperventilate, and I went, "So is it going to die, or is this like he's ventilating because it's getting close to the time and nothing's gonna happen?" It still happens, and it hits the car, flashes to white, and it cuts to her friend Lottie running through the hospital halls, and you see her go, "I'm so sorry," and it pans over, and it's her. So yes, he died, and then, like he had his moment earlier, this is her moment. She's like, "Why me? Why does it have to be me? Why am I here?" And he's not. And then it's like, he had a vision or a dream. He knew it was going to happen. He knew it. And I'm like, yeah. But my question is, because I'm still sitting here very confused. It's not the same day, right? Because how... If you look at Wikipedia, I don't think it even explains it here. Chases around... Too far. I forgot the I part. Going to Ian's hometown. And his favorite hill. Sudden shower sends him to isolated hut there. Yes, sir. They have one. She replies, "Better with him." Declares his devotion to her. They make love by the fire. Back in town, they have drinks at his late father's hangout. Describes his father. It was not. Yeah, he idolized his father until his dad became an alcoholic. After he lost his job. So, they return to London. Are we to believe that all this, from the moment he wakes up and taking her to his hometown and going back to London all in one day? Because it didn't seem like that. This is all supposed to be one long-ass day. Because I'm very confused on that. I couldn't find any reviews for this. But yeah. And it cuts to 6 months later. I was convinced, because they made the bang boom in the hut, she was going to end up pregnant. And that was he died, but she's pregnant with his baby and it was going to live on. But it flashes 6 months. I'm like, here we go. And she's not pregnant now. Wait. What? What? Really? That wasn't the whole point? Like, the child gets to live on or something? No, she's singing a song. A very sad love song about him, basically. And yeah. Yes, I did tear up a bit. But, I'll tell you what. Even though it's a very similar ending, I liked it better in this movie because they didn't overtly make it a point like if she had died and he had decided to move on and deal with it, live with it, fine. Because it'd be like, oh, you have one day, just let it go. And they didn't play it as, like, the cab driver was like, oh, there is one way you can stop it. You know? It has to be you. Wherein, in Before I Fall, there was, the only way that loop could stop is if she jumped in the way and saved Juliet. They made it blatantly clear that is what had to happen. Otherwise, the day was going to keep repeating itself. This was not a time loop, so it wasn't like there was a way to stop it, because it was still just apparently just one day, one long-ass day. They're able to go to another place and come back in time for a concert. I don't know how time works over there in England, but I don't know. Felt like it was 2 days, but maybe it was originally supposed to be 2 days, and they realized that wouldn't make any sense. So they just framed it as 1 day, but it doesn't make sense as being 1 day. I don't know. I will say I did kind of like that it wasn't just the time loop where he had to keep, like, he kept losing her, because if it did that, and he kept losing her each day no matter what he did, because that's the way it was framing, and that's kind of why I wanted to watch it. I wanted to make sure something different happened, where it's like, no matter what he did, because like, oh, he stopped her from burning her hand, but then she burned it on a curling iron, or he moved her out of the way so she didn't hit with the coke. She got hit with the coke a different way. Like, oh, doesn't matter how you try to stop it, it's still gonna happen. So like, he keeps trying to stop her from dying, but it still happens. No, this is only 1 or 2 days. I don't know. And his sacrifice feels more organic. That he basically, I forgot her name. Samantha. What are the odds? Samantha in that movie, basically realizing it's the only way it can happen. Where here, he made the choice. And it's not like it had to happen. That accident was still going to happen whether or not he was in it or not. Someone was always going to die. Problem I do have, who the hell is Tom Wilkinson? I don't understand. Like, it made blatantly clear that he knows what's going on. That he knows that they've repeated the day. But it's never made explicitly clear who he is. Right? First, he's just a cab driver, and now, I don't know. What is he credited as? Where the hell's the... It's up here, right? Yeah. Are you telling me there's no... There's no cast area. No, there's not. Let me click Tom Wilkinson. We'll go to his filmography here. 2004. Taxi Driver. That is what he's credited as, and he wasn't saying, You talking to me? No. He's a Taxi Driver, that's his name. Okay. Paul Nichols. He looked familiar. Where do I know him from? So that's a John Wick. It's a Joe Wicks. Was he in... only... I don't recognize it from anything. Lake Placid, the final chapter. He looked familiar, but I can't recognize anything. Can we go up, please? Agatha Christie's Marple. Mm-hmm. I thought maybe he was on Doctor Who, but I don't see him any of that anywhere. I really don't. Why did he look familiar to me? Bridget Jones, The Edge of Reason. Robert Fane, Goodbye, Charlie Bright. No? I don't know why he looked familiar to me. I really don't know. Nothing. I don't know why he looked familiar to me then. I don't know. I guess I've seen him. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I thought it was good. I'll give it pretty good. So it's a solid, you know, solid film. Great acting, by the way. This is. I didn't expect it to be so serious. It's very serious, in a way. For something I thought was going to be a time loop movie, you think that's going to have comedy stuff. It is actually played very serious, but really good. So I recommend it. So, what are your thoughts on If Only? Comments, let me show. Like, share. Did I ever say the name of this? It's called If Only. I don't know if I ever said that, but that you see the title of the video anyway. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.